Okay, this is the Beverly shear 101. So very simple machine to operate. It's like a tin snips on steroids. I'm going to mark out a piece that I want to cut at a certain length. I'm just going to use a piece of steel to scribe it and mark it. I want to look down the metal and make sure that here's my mark right here. I want to make sure that my mark and my steel is perpendicular with the blade, or making a perfect 90-degree angle. I'm going to shove it all the way back into the throat of the cutter, and then I'm going to reach up here and back up, pull down, cut through. Extra material can stay here if other people are using it, otherwise it should go back in the storage room. When you cut the material, this is the factory end right here, it's flat. This is the cut end, it's going to have a curve to it, so we're going to hammer that flat. Find a hard surface like the back of a vise. And knock that out so it's flat. On the belt sander, we're going to knock these sharp edges down first. 45-degree angle, flip it. 45-degree angle. Then I'm going to radius the corners. Always sanding on the downstroke side. Last thing I'm going to do is finish the edges of the corners, so the corners aren't sharp either. Now we're going to bend it in the metal bender. So this is very basic metal bending in here, just using 3 solid pins. I'm going to lay out for a 10-inch opening for a box. So if I have a 16-inch piece, which is what I have here, I want to mark my center. At 8 inches. And then I'm going to go either way. If I have a 10-inch opening, I'm going to mark 5 inches away from the center mark. So I've got my center mark here and my 2 marks on the outside. And now as far as bending this goes, I'm over here. I want to slide it in. This is the swing arm right here. This is the main frame, doesn't move. This is our pivot pin. So I'm going to slide this in. I want it resting or sitting flat on the swing arm. So I'm going to pull this over to my first mark, shoot in from right here. Find that mark, and I want to center that mark on the pin. So I've got that mark centered on the pin. Now as you watch, I'll draw this through. Mark isn't moving, it's staying there. And I'm going to pull it to 90 degrees. I can visually see 90 here. And if I hold that up, I don't quite have it. So I'll put it back in there. Bend it a little further. Really close. Maybe a ½ degree over. That's perfect right there. Now, I could slide this through and go to the second mark. But the problem is it's going to bend differently if I do that, because it's going to draw the outside. So I want to flip it. I want to put my short side through here again. Line it up in the center of the pin. Go ahead and draw that through to 90 degrees. Now what I should end up with is a symmetrical piece. I've got to go a little further here. Pretty thin stuff. Not too much. Very close, okay? And I can stand that up. This should fit between a pan if I've got a dustpan building it, or whatever my opening would be. When you're done with the bender, If you've got dies that you're using, dies that can be used like this to bend radiuses, put the dies back into the cabinet down below. And see.